The world is no stranger to change. Throughout history, it has profound implications for the future of every nation, leaving their mark on the global stage. From the ancient Romans to the mighty British Empire, power dynamics have constantly shifted, shaping the course of civilization. Today we stand at the precipice of a new era, one where the old order is being challenged, and new contenders for global dominance are emerging from unexpected corners of the world. This shift in power is not merely a matter of academic curiosity, it has profound implications for the future of every nation, every economy, and every individual on the planet. Understanding the forces driving this change and identifying the rising stars is crucial for navigating the complexities of the 21st century. The waning influence of traditional superpowers has created a testament to the shifting tides of globalization and the defeats across multiple domains. However, giants are not content with remaining on the sidelines of global affairs. They are eager to assert themselves and claim their place at the table of power. Driven by robust economic growth, technological advancements, and a growing sense of national pride, these nations are challenging the established order and rewriting the rules of the game. Their rise is a testament to the shifting tides of globalization and the diffusion of power from the West to the East and the South. While the United States remains a dominant force in the world, its hegemony is being tested like never before. The rise of China in particular has become the defining geopolitical narrative of the 21st century. With its rapidly expanding economy, burgeoning technological prowess, and growing military might, China is positioning itself as a peer competitor to the US, challenging its dominance across multiple domains. However, China is not the only player in this new era of global power. To understand rising superpowers, look back at past empires. The Roman Empire rose through conquest, alliances, and administration. Its decline was marked by overexpansion and internal strife. The British Empire rose through naval dominance and industrial innovation. Colonial exploitation led to its decline as nationalist movements grew. These lessons highlight the transient nature of power and the need for adaptability. The 20th century witnessed the meteoric rise of the individual initiative and risk-taking, all of which projected American influence and values onto the world itself into an economic and military powerhouse, shaping the world order in its image. Several key factors contributed to this ascent, including its vast natural resources, entrepreneurial spirit, and embrace of technological innovation. The U.S. benefited from a stable political system, a dynamic economy, and a culture that encouraged individual initiative and risk-taking. The two world wars, while devastating for much of the globe, paradoxically accelerated America's rise to prominence. While other major powers were left rebuilding, the U.S. emerged from the conflicts relatively unscathed, its industrial base intact and its economy booming. This period also saw the U.S. take on a leading role in shaping the post-war global order, establishing institutions like the United Nations, the World Bank, and the International Monetary Fund, all of which projected American influence and values onto the world stage. The rise and fall of the Soviet Union. Military spending led to shortages and economic stagnation, economic sustainability, and political legitimacy. The Soviet Union's rise marked the beginning of the Cold War. Fueled by natural resources and rapid industrialization, the Soviet Union prioritized military strength. The launch of Sputnik ignited the space race. However, the Soviet economic model proved unsustainable. Its centrally planned economy lacked innovation, military spending led to shortages and economic stagnation, repressive politics stifled dissent and limited initiative. Cracks in the system became apparent in the latter half of the 20th century. Economic stagnation and social unrest took their toll. The Afghan war drained resources and exposed military limitations. Gorbachev's reforms came too late. The Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, ending the Cold War. Its rise and fall offer a cautionary tale about economic sustainability and political legitimacy. Section 1. The Dragon Awakens. China's, while maintaining a strong state role, unleashed the actors, including a vast and increasingly skilled history and vast potential, but largely absent from the world stage. The latter half of the 20th century, however, witnessed a dramatic awakening. Beginning with the economic reforms initiated by Deng Xiaoping in the late 1970s, China embarked on a path of unprecedented economic growth and transformation. These reforms, which embraced market principles while maintaining a strong state role, unleashed the entrepreneurial spirit of the Chinese people and integrated the country into the global economy with remarkable speed. China's economic ascent has been nothing short of breathtaking. Over the past 4 decades, the country has witnessed sustained double-digit growth rates, lifting hundreds of millions of people out of poverty and transforming the nation into the world's second-largest economy. This remarkable growth has been fueled by a potent combination of factors, including a vast and increasingly skilled labor force, massive investments in infrastructure, and a relentless focus on export-oriented manufacturing. China's embrace of globalization and its ability to attract foreign investment have also played a key role in its economic miracle. The transformation of China's economy. From agrarian society to industrial powerhouse, China's journey is remarkable. Driven by manufacturing, education, and innovation, initially fueled by low-cost manufacturing. Critics raised concerns over labor, environment, and IP theft. China is now moving up the value chain, leading in AI, robotics, and quantum computing. Companies like Alibaba and Tencent are global names. China is positioning as a global technological powerhouse. The price of progress challenges on China's path to superpower status. China's economic miracle has not come without its costs. One of the most pressing issues is the widening gap between rich and poor. Another major challenge is environmental degradation. The government has implemented measures to address it. China also faces external headwinds with increased tensions with the US. Furthermore, China's demographic challenges are becoming increasingly apparent. A new Silk Road, China's global ambitions and influence. As China's economic and military might have grown, so too has its global influence. One of the most visible manifestations of China's global ambitions is its Belt and Road Initiative. China has become a major player in international organizations, using its economic clout to promote its agenda. China is also increasing its military presence around the world. China's growing global influence has been met with mixed reactions. The elephant rises: India's awakening. While China's of opportunities and challenges. India's export-driven model. India's economy is largely driven, long burdened by poverty, bureaucracy, and a legacy of colonial rule. India is finally starting to realize its immense potential. With a population soon to surpass China's, a vibrant democracy, and a youthful demographic, India possesses the raw ingredients for superpower status. Its journey, however, is distinct from China's, marked by its own unique set of opportunities and challenges. India's economic awakening began in the 1990s with a series of economic reforms that liberalized its economy and opened it up to foreign investment. These reforms, though gradual and often met with resistance, laid the foundation for the country's current economic dynamism. India's growth story is characterized by a diverse economy, with strengths in sectors ranging from information technology and pharmaceuticals to agriculture and manufacturing. Unlike China's export-driven model, India's economy is largely driven by domestic consumption, making it less susceptible to global economic shocks. One of the most remarkable aspects of India's economic transformation technology, with its software engineers and IT transforming every aspect of Indian society. India has leapfrogged into the digital age, embracing technology with a fervor that has surprised many. This digital surge has been fueled by a combination of factors, including a large pool of skilled engineers, government initiatives to promote digital literacy, and the rapid proliferation of affordable smartphones and internet access. India has emerged as a global hub for information technology, with its software engineers and IT professionals sought after by companies around the world. Indian IT giants like Infosys, Tata Consultancy Services, and Wipro have become multinational corporations, competing head-on with their Western counterparts. Moreover, India has witnessed a boom in tech startups, with young entrepreneurs developing innovative solutions in areas such as e-commerce, fintech, and education technology. This digital revolution is not confined to the tech sector. It is transforming every aspect of Indian society. From farmers using mobile apps to access weather information and market prices to citizens accessing government services online, technology is empowering Indians in unprecedented ways. The Indian government has played a key role in this transformation, launching initiatives like Digital India, which aims to bridge the digital divide and promote digital inclusion. However, India's digital revolution is not without its challenges. Despite its remarkable progress, India's path to and improve access to education, healthcare, the country's roads, railways, ports, and power grid. Climate change poses an existential threat to India, with continued ascent. One of the most significant challenges is poverty and inequality. While India has made significant strides in reducing poverty, a large portion of its population still lives below the poverty line. Addressing this issue will require sustained efforts to promote inclusive growth, create jobs, and improve access to education, healthcare, and other essential services. Another major challenge is corruption. Despite recent efforts to improve governance and transparency, corruption remains endemic in many parts of Indian society, undermining the rule of law and hindering economic development. Tackling corruption will require strengthening institutions, improving law enforcement, and fostering a culture of accountability. Furthermore, India's infrastructure deficit is a major bottleneck to growth. The country's roads, railways, ports, and power grid are inadequate to support its rapidly growing economy. Addressing this infrastructure gap will require massive investments, both public and private, and a streamlining of bureaucratic processes to expedite project implementation. India also faces significant environmental challenges. Rapid industrialization and urbanization have taken a toll on the environment, leading to air and water pollution, deforestation, and water scarcity. Climate change poses an existential threat to India, with rising sea levels, more frequent droughts, and extreme weather events threatening its population and economy. As India's economic and military might have grown, in international organizations, such as the United Nations, is increasingly assertive in international affairs, seeking to shape the global order. India aspires to be a leading voice for developing countries, championing multilateralism. India has adopted a more pragmatic approach, forging closer ties with countries like the United States, Japan, and Australia, while also maintaining its strategic partnership with Russia. The country is an active participant in international organizations such as the United Nations, the World Trade Organization, and the G20. However, India's rise as a global power is not without its challenges. Its relations with neighboring Pakistan remain fraught, with territorial disputes and cross-border terrorism posing a constant threat to regional stability. As India continues to assert itself on the world stage, it will need to manage these complex relationships carefully. The tropical tiger Brazil's rise and potential. Brazil is emerging as a contender from the southern hemisphere. With abundant resources, a diverse population, and strategic location, Brazil has superpower potential. Its economic rise began in the late 20th century, driven by industrialization and oil reserves. This dynamism earned Brazil a place among the BRICS nations. Brazil's rise is also cultural, known for its vibrant music and dance. Combining cultural richness with economic potential, Brazil is a key player in the 21st century. An economy on the rise. From coffee to cars, the emergence of a dynamic private sector. One rapidly, driven by a burgeoning middle class and increasingly for its exports of coffee, sugar, and other agricultural commodities, Brazil has diversified its economy significantly, becoming a major player in manufacturing, services, and technology. This shift has been driven by a combination of factors, including government policies aimed at promoting industrialization, investments in infrastructure, and the emergence of a dynamic private sector. One of the key drivers of Brazil's economic growth has been its automotive industry. The country is now a major global producer of cars, trucks, and buses, with companies like Volkswagen, Fiat, and General Motors establishing major production facilities in Brazil. This growth has been supported by government incentives, a growing domestic market, and Brazil's proximity to other Latin American markets. Beyond manufacturing, Brazil's service sector has also grown rapidly, driven by a burgeoning middle class and increasing demand for financial services, telecommunications, and tourism. The country is now home to some of the largest banks and telecommunications companies in Latin America, and its tourism industry is a major contributor to economic growth, attracting visitors from around the world to its iconic beaches, vibrant cities, and natural wonders. Section 3. The Colossus of the South, Challenges to Brazil's Ascent. Despite its progress, Brazil faces formidable challenges. Persistent inequality remains a pressing issue. This fuels social tensions and hinders growth. Corruption is endemic, eroding public trust. Public safety is a serious concern. External headwinds like economic slowdown and climate change also pose risks. Brazil's global aspirations. As Brazil's cultural diplomacy enhances its global aspirations, the country seeks to play a leading role on the world stage. Brazil's foreign policy is committed to multilateralism and peaceful resolution of disputes. It advocates for reform of global governance institutions. Brazil plays a leading role in addressing climate change and promoting sustainable development. Its participation in international forums reflects its desire to shape the global agenda. Brazil's cultural diplomacy enhances its global standing. Its vibrant culture captivates audiences worldwide. A multipolar world in the making. The global power balance are reshaping the geopolitical calculus. The unipolar moment is giving way to a more multipolar world, driven by rapid economic growth, technology diffusion, and regional assertiveness. China stands as the most formidable challenger to the existing order. Its Belt and Road Initiative and technological investments signal its global ambitions. India, with its youthful population and tech sector, is another rising power. These emerging giants are reshaping the geopolitical calculus. A more multipolar world has the potential to be more stable and prosperous. Section 2. Navigating the future. Contributing to global public goods and addressing the emergence of a multipolar world presents both opportunities and challenges. A diverse array of actors could lead to greater cooperation on global issues. But it also raises the risk of miscalculation and conflict. The relationship between established powers and rising giants will be crucial. The United States must adapt to a multipolar world, embracing multilateralism. Emerging powers must exercise influence responsibly, contributing to global public goods and addressing shared challenges. The world will be watching closely. Will they embrace cooperation or succumb to conflict?